Okay. Uh, yes, good evening, everyone, and welcome to our short webinar, actually. The title is about breaking the fatherless cycle. Yeah. My name is Freddie Leong, and I'm joining you from Jakarta. And I would like to briefly introduce my family first. Yeah, this is my family picture. My wife is Maria, and we have three sons, Anderson, Timothy, and William. Timothy and William, they are twins.
Ooh.
So we have three sons, buy two, get one free from God. Okay. Now, I work as a family business consultant. I help families business build a longer relationship, develop their business, and create a meaningful legacy to their successor. Alongside my professional work, I also serve in the marketplace and in parenting ministry in the church because I believe that healthy families are the foundation of healthy life. Healthy family also, that is the foundation for the business and also the communities. Hopefully you agree with me about this. So today, I want to talk and to share about something that's very close to the heart of many people. It happens in many families, but we do not always speak about it openly. Let me begin with a one question. Maybe you can answer in your heart. How can a child grow up in a complete family but still feel like an orphan? Another question. How can a child have a father at home and yet feel that he or she never truly experienced the presence of a father? The father may be physically present. He live in the same house, pay the bills, provide food, pay for the school, and work very hard for the family. From the outside, everything may look complete, but emotionally, the father may not really be there. Yeah, sometimes the child maybe feel unheard. They are not understood. They are not protected. They are not affirmed by the father or blessed by the father even. Because of that, many people grow up in carrying wounds, that do not fully understand it. So, from this fact, this may explain why many adults find it very difficult to show love, struggle to trust other people, become very angry easily, run away from responsibility, constantly look for approval, or work extremely hard but still feel empty inside. So, today, many people describe this as the fatherless generation. But this is not only a modern psychological issue. The Bible itself has spoken about the importance of fathers, children, identity, blessing, and restoration for a very, very long time. So from this slide, I want to explain it to you. This is based on the research. You can see how badly the world needs fathers who are responsible and emotionally present. This number suggests that when children grow up without a father presence, they may face serious problems such as suicide, sexual violence, behavioral issue, getting involved with step care, dropping out of the school. So you can see from the numbers here, 63% of suicide cases, some from families without a father. 80% sexual violence driven by anger from neglect come from family without a father. 70% of teenagers in a state, in a step care come from family without a father. 40% of children do not live with their biological father. And 85% of children with behavioral problem come from family without a father. So 70% of children who drop out of school come from, once again, family without fathers. This is very terrible. So today, we are not here to blame fathers or attack anyone here. So you agree with me? Many fathers also grew up wounded and never had a healthy model of fatherhood. So we are here because we want the cycle to be stopped. Are you agree with me? If you agree with me, please, you type yes in the chat box. So we are gathering here. I'm not blaming anybody. Yeah, because, we want this cycle to be stopped. Yeah, we may not be able to change what happened in the past, but by the grace of God, we can change what happened next. The next generation does not have does not have to carry the same wounds to the next generation. So I want to conclude one sentence. It's very important sentence. The cycle may have come to us, but it does not have to continue to us. I have one slide explaining about this, When we hear the word fatherless, we may immediately think of a child whose father has died. That is certainly one from fatherless form, but the meaning is much wider actually. A child can live in the same house as the father and still grow up fatherless. Why? Because being fatherless is not only about losing the person. It is also about losing the role and function of a father. A child maybe experience fatherlessness because of the father has passed away, but it's not the only sole reason. The parents are divorced, the father is constantly busy or emotionally distant, cold, abusive, addicted, or unable to give direction. In other situations, the father may provide financially, but they never lead the family spiritually. So the father may still be present physically, but the child does not experience his attention, his affection, his protection, his guidance, affirmation or blessing. The child may see the father every day, but never feel truly known by him. And this is in Indonesia, a lot of family like this. I don't know in Australia, is it the same or not? Yeah, the child may hear the father's voice, but mostly through correction, the voice of criticism. The child may receive money and gifts only, but rarely receive encouragement. The child may know the father works very, very hard, but still feel no emotional connection. This is why fatherlessness is not only the loss of a person, it can also be the loss of a father presence and influence. So if you read from Malachi 4, verse 5, 6, it is written like this: He will return the hearts of the fathers to their children, and the heart of the children to their fathers. Yeah, these verses is very, very famous. Yeah, think about this carefully. The final message of the Old Testament in the Bible is about the restoration of the relationship between fathers and children. It is not about building a larger temple or gaining political power or becoming wealthy. It is about turning hearts back towards one another. This is very, very, I'm also very curious about these verses. Why these verses is written? Yeah, because when the relationship between fathers and children is broken, the whole family is affected. When many families are affected, the damage eventually reaches the community and even the nation. Healthy family help builds healthy generation. So one of the most important things is a father give the identity. Yeah, see, you see from my picture, my slide over here. A child often learns how to see himself through the words and action of the father. So when the father say, I believe in you, I'm proud of you, you are valuable, or you can do this, you have a strength point, those words can stay in the child's heart for many, many years. And they become an inner circle source of courage when life becomes difficult. But if the negative words can also stay for many years, words such as, you are useless, you never do right things. Yeah. Why can't you be like your brother? Or you will never succeed. It may be spoken in a moment, anger, but the child may remember them for the rest of his life. So maybe the father forget what he said, but remember, the child may continue to live under the weight of those words. See, from this picture, you can see, yeah, the father can build or destroy, can strengthen or weaken his children, give courage or create the fear or bring clarity or confusion for the children just because of the father's word. Yeah, a father's word can help a child believe, I am loved, I am valuable, I can become who God created me to be. So I want you to imagine like a ship with a powerful engine. The engine can move, the ship quickly, but the ship also needs a compass. Without a compass, it may travel very fast in a wrong direction. So in many families, the mothers give a great amount of love, emotional care. She's often like the engine of love in the family. But in the meantime, the father is called to help provide direction, like a compass. The children need love, but they also need direction. They need someone who helps them understand who they are, who is right and wrong, what kind of person they should become, and how they should respond when the life becomes difficult for them. So father does not only help a child feel love, it also helps the child know where to go. So what is the impact of the fatherlessness if the father they do not, doing his role for their children? So actually there are four high impact, negative impact of the fatherlessness. The first one, what I call the identity problem. The impact of the identity problem, a lot of people growing, asking, who am I? Am I important? Am I really valuable? Why do I always feel that I am not good enough? I see a lot of people, with this kind of question, even he's already 50 years old or 60 years old. They may become successful, earn a lot of money, gain a respected position, or even receive praise from a lot of people, but yet deep inside his heart, they still feel insecure and continue trying to prove themselves. Who am I? Why? Because his father never validated who he is, what is his identity. Yes, this is yet this inside the heart of the people, of the person. They still feel insecure and continue trying to prove themselves. Achievement cannot always heal the wound of rejection. Success cannot replace the affirmation. And of course, money cannot replace the identity. A person who spent his entire life trying to hear from the world what he never heard from his father, I am proud of you. He will keep on searching the validation about the identity. And this is very, very horrible. Problem number 2 about the fatherlessness, difficulty trusting people. People who carry father's wound may find it very difficult to trust others. Deep inside, they may believe that people will eventually leave, disappoint, or hurt them. To protect themselves, they keep people at a distance. They may look strong. Yeah, they may look strong and independent on the outside, but inside, they are full of afraid of rejection. And some of them say, I do not need anyone. But sometimes it's not strength. It is always to avoid being hurt again. Problem number 3, always looking for approval. Some people constantly need validation. They want to be praised, accepted, admired. They are afraid of disappointing others and find it difficult to say no. A lot of Indonesian people like this. They may become people pleaser and make decisions based on the question, what will people think about me? Rather than asking, what is right? What does God want? Is this healthy for me? So when we do not know who we are, we often depend on too much others, people, opinion. Problem number 4, difficulty seeing God as a loving father. For many children, their earthly fathers become their first picture of fatherhood. If the father is cold, the child may imagine that God is cold. If the father is always angry, the child may have the perception God is always angry. If the father is difficult to please, the child may believe that God is also difficult to please. If the father is absent, the child maybe feel also God is so far away. So this is why some Christians know in their mind that God loves them, but still find it difficult to feel safe with God. They believe in God, attend church, they pray, but deep inside they are still afraid, or just evenly they are curious or doubtful about the God. They may feel that they must perform in order to be accepted by God. But God is not a distant father, actually, who is waiting for us to make one mistake so he can reject us. He's loving fathers who want to restore us if we realize about this. Number 5 problem. This is the biggest problem. The cycle will continue. A father who has never hugged may not know how to hug his children. A father who was never praised may not know how to praise them. A father who only heard shouting may also shout at his family. And a father who grew up with emotional distance may become emotionally distant himself. He may say, this is just the way I am. But often, it is not simply personality. It is a learned pattern he repeats with he experienced. Yeah, not necessarily because he wants to hurt his children, but because it is only the model he knows. So trauma is like a fire, actually. When fire is not stopped, it spread from one place to another. In the same way, unresolved pain can move from one generation to another generation. The child who was hurt becomes an adult. The adult becomes a parent. And without healing, the same pain enters another generation. Wounds that are not healed are often passed on the next generation. In the Bible, if you have ever read about the Absalom and David, yeah, we learned some very important learning point from the David and Absalom. Uh, Let us look a little bit the story of Absalom in 2 Samuel. Yeah, David was a great king, a great warrior, and a man who loved God. Yeah, he wrote many psalms and experienced many victories. But as a father, David had a serious weaknesses. When Tamar, his daughter, was sexually violated by Amnon, David became angry. But he did not take the action needed to bring justice and protection. Absalom saw what happened. Perhaps in his heart he thought, my father knows what happened, but he is doing nothing. My father did not protect my sister. My father did not bring justice. That wouldn't become anger. The anger become bitterness, and the bitterness become revenge. Absalom later killed Amnon and eventually rebelled against David. A family conflict into a national conflict involving, murder, rebellion, and civil war. Now, this does not mean that Absalom was never responsible for his choices. He was responsible. But the story shows us something very, very important. When the father fails to act, fails to protect, fails to guide or bring justice, children may carry deep anger. Silence is also a message. When the father sees something's wrong and does nothing, the child may hear, you are not important enough for me. So once again, the cycle is continue. But in the meantime, the cycle will come to you and it should stop with you. Fatherlessness does not always stop with one person. It became a family pattern from generation to another generation. Father grows up in a cold home where nobody talks about emotion, nobody say I love you, and nobody hugs. When he becomes a father, he may repeat the same pattern. His child grow up in the same emotional situation, and later the child become a parent. This is how a cycle is created. One generation say, this is how my father treated me. And the next generation say, this is how I treat my children. Slowly, pain becomes traditional. Pain becomes pattern in the family. Sometimes people defend unhealthy behavior by saying, my father did it the same to me. I turned out fine. But the real question is, did you truly turn out fine? Or did you simply learn how to survive? And surviving is not the same as being healed. So I want you to imagine a long line of dominoes. I want you to take a look at this picture for a couple seconds. Yeah, this is a long line of dominoes. One dominoes fall, then the next one falls. And the pattern continue falling and keep on falling. But what happens when one domino refuses to fail or to fall? I mean, the chain stops. You may not be able to change your father, your childhood, or what happened to you, but you can make a decision. The same wound will not continue through me. I will not treat my children the same way. I will learn a new way. And I will allow God to heal me. So you can be the person who stopped the cycle. The cycle may have come to you, but it does not have to go through you. Once again, do you agree with this? Please, can you type it in the chat box? Do you agree or not about this? Yeah, this is a very important question. Yeah, you can think it over. Yeah, you can also make a decision. Yeah, it's supposed to be stopped here. Stop from here. The cycle should not go to another generation. Okay, thank you for your response. So the biggest question is from this sharing is, how do we break the cycle? Yeah, how do we break the cycle? There are 5 steps. The first one is admit that I am hurt. Yeah, this is the first step. Yeah, God heals wounds, but first we must admit that wounds are there. Many people say it happened a long time ago. It was not a big issue. Or I'm already an adult. I still can survive. Oh, I do not want to think about it. Yet the wound may still appear through anger. Don't forget about this. Through the insecurity, through fear, jealousy, controlling others, emotional distance. Oh, difficult to trust others. So the anger manifestation in very different ways. We cannot heal what we refuse to admit. Of course, healing begins when we say, yes, that's very hurt me. Yes, I need my father. Yes, I wanted his attention, protection, approval. Yes, I wanted to hear that he was proud of me. Admitting the wound is not the same as attacking or dishonoring your father. It is simply being honest before God and saying, Lord, this is me. This is part of my heart that still hurts. So the first step, you just aware, you just admit there is a wound inside, even in your inner child, and you need God's help. This is the first important step, the first step. The second step, choose to forgive your father. Forgiveness is not easy, of course, for some person. And it does not mean that what happened was acceptable. It does not remove responsibility or erase the consequences or mean that trust must be immediately returned. No, of course, no. Forgiveness means I will not allow this wound to control my whole life. I will not continue to carry the poison of the bitterness to my children. Forgiveness, it means I will place judgment in God's hand. Bitterness often damages us more than the person who hurt us. We carry this anger, stress, disappointment, and pain. Forgiveness is not saying that it did not matter. Forgiveness is saying it mattered very, very deeply. But I will not let it on my, but it will not let it on me anymore. I want to say sayonara to my wound, to my pain. Sometimes forgiveness is a process, and we may need to choose it again and again. But every time we choose forgiveness, we become a little free and more free and free. So the second step is forgiveness. And third step, receive your identity from God. If your father, your own father, he never validate your identity when in your childhood, no problem. We need identity from God. Perhaps your earthly father never say, I love you, I believe in you, or I am proud of you. Perhaps he never knew how because he was also wounded of his own father. But your identity does not have to depend on what your father did or did not do that. In Christ, God calls us his child. Yeah. We are very precious. We are loved by God. We are accepted. We are forgiven. We are chosen. And we are belong to him. Your father's value does not determine your value. Once again, you agree? Your past does not determine your future. Your wound is part of your story, but it does not have to become the end of your story. And God can write a new chapter for each of our life. So the fourth step, become a present father for your children. So this is the fourth step. As a father, presence is more important. Your children may enjoy the gift you buy, but what they really need is you. They need your time, attention, your ears, your eyes, your words, and your affection. They need to feel my father knows me. My father listen to me. My father is interested in my life. A father can be in the same room and still be absent. He can sit beside his child while looking at his phone. Father eat at the same table without having a real conversation. And father provide everything financially while missing what is happening emotionally. So being present means you putting down your phone while you are have a conversation with your children, looking into their own eyes, asking questions, listening without immediately giving a lecture. Sometimes the child does not need any answer from the father. Sometimes the child simply needs to know, my father understands me. My father is beside me. So actually, I want to give you a homework. You just hang it over. Three, three action you want to be exist presence in your children. How to do it? You start thinking tonight. Number five, step number 5, build a family altar. Yeah, a family altar does not have to be long or feel like a formal church services. It can be just simple, read short passage, talk about it, ask the children what they think, pray together, share what happened that day, or thanks God, or bless one another. The goal is not to make the family look very, very religious. It's not the sole goal. The goal is to help the family experience God together, bonding together before the God. Do not only talk about God at the church. Bring God into your daily family life. Talk about Him. When there is a problem, when there is a blessing, when someone is afraid, and when someone fails, let the home become a place where the faith feels real for your own children. And the last one, This is very important. You have to do it every day with your children. Bless your children. Yeah, please do not only speak when your child make a mistake. Do not let your voice become only a voice of correction. Once again, I want to repeat it about this. I want to emphasize about this. Do not let your voice become only a voice of correction. Many children regularly hear, "Why did you do that? You are careless. You are lazy. You are not serious." But they seldom hear, "I am proud of you. I see your effort. I believe in you. I love you." Oh, God has a purpose for your life. Fathers, your words matter. Your children may forget the toys you bought, but they may remember your words for the rest of their life. Speak life, courage, identity, and bless them. Tell them you made a mistake, but you are not a mistake. You failed today, but failure is not your identity. You can learn, you can grow, and I will walk with you. So, fathers, children need correction, but correction should take place inside a good relationship of love and safety. So, I will close my sharing today with one illustration. You can read the slide for a few seconds. You can read by yourself. So this slide, yeah, showing one illustration. A young child, was asked to draw a picture of his family. Yeah, he drew the house, his mother, and himself. Then the teacher looked at the picture and asked, "Where's your father?" The child answered, "My father is there, but he is always working." Then the teacher asked, "Who spent the most time with you?" The child replied, "My smartphone." This is the reality in many homes today. The father is still in the house, but the child is being raised by a screen, by a device, by the internet, by the TV. The child learns value from social media. They are validated from the Instagram, from the TikTok. Yeah, relationship, very strong bonding with the internet, identity from the strangers, and priorities from, algorithm. Yeah, algorithm, right? So the question is not only, does the child have a father? The deeper question is, does the child experience the father? Does the child feel seen, heard, protected, and blessed? So I want to make a conclusion. The enemy is not especially afraid of a rich family. The devil is not especially afraid of intelligent family. But the enemy, is afraid of a family where the father loves his wife, bless his children, live spiritually, and become emotionally present, where the mother respect and support her husband, where the parents walk in the unity, and where the children grow up knowing God. So a healthy family can produce a healthy generation, and a healthy generation can influence the world. I hope my short sharing in this webinar can, give you some insight about how important the roles of the fathers in the family. Okay, I will stop at this point. If you have any question, maybe we can have a short Q&A. Yeah, I give it back to Anna or Yuda.
Thank you, Pak. Pak Freddy, thank you very much. It's very, very insightful. And I believe we all blessed to hear this. Whatever experience we have with our uh, natural father. So yeah, anyone you want to ask questions, just raise your hand and just yeah.
Is there anyone? If you have, maybe you can use that this time. And if possible, maybe you can open the camera. Thank you.
Or you can type your question in the chat box.
That's right.
Yes, I do have a questions.
Siapa?
So his name is Jason. Just
Name is
introduce
Jason.
yourself. Thank you.
Yeah.
My name is Jason, and I am me. Okay.
Father of two.
Father of two. Yes. Only got one wife. Yes. Yeah. Perfect wife. I think. Nah.
Boy or girls?
Yeah. One boy, one girl. Yeah. Just a quick question, Sam. Just in regarding to how in your experience, Dr. Leong, how would you balance? I assume that you also ministry, right? I mean, like you're doing a ministry as well. In at as you mentioned, that you do work in the marketplace before as well. So my questions is like many of us is working full time as well while we volunteering in the church, just to work. And now, yes, it is a challenge sometimes, especially when we are in Australia. It's not when everything that we do, it's by ourselves. There's no mates, there's no one, there's no helpers basically. So the challenge that we have here, it's about to balance the time and between working 5 days and then your ministry, um, not full time but full heart. Yes.
So the question, Jace, how to maintain
How
the
to
balance?
balance?
Yeah,
Yeah.
how to balance?
How to
Pak?
balance?
Yeah.
Yes.
How to balance?
From your experience, if you can share tips a little bit.
How to balance, how to time management between the ministry, family, your career,
Work,
and
yeah.
your own life. Yeah, that's the question, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. I involved in the ministry since our three sons still very, very at young age, about 2 years old, 3 years old, and very, very busy. We are very busy in the church. But in the meantime, I also very busy, and I just started my consulting office, and it's very, very exhausted, But I try to be balanced. I myself have a very important personal value. I want to balance in three things. I want to be balanced in my career, in my spiritual growth, and also in my family. So I manage my time in a week, in 1 week maximum. I involve in ministry only 6 hours per week. So I can allocate 6 hours in a week for 2 or 3 days in a weekday. This is excluded Sunday services or Sundays ministry. Yeah. At that time, I also supervise several cell church, cell groups. I supervise about 10 cell group at the time, but I still, devote my time for the family. Yeah, and because I have my own office, usually I was at home from the office at about 6 or 7 at night. So that is the good time, we eat dinner together with the children, and then spend uh, 30 minutes or 1 hour with the children, and uh, 2 days in a weekday in a week I go to and visit the cell group. And of course Sunday we spend about 4 hours sometimes to 4 hours ministry in the church. So I try to balance. And nowadays, I think it's more easier, you can connecting or bonding with your children. You can do it by WhatsApp, for example. Even you work late at night in the office, yeah, you can chat, you can text your children to the WhatsApp. The most important principle is do yourself. You invest or you involve in your children's heart. This is very, very important. Yeah. So you can allocate your time in a very, very different ways, balancing your work, your ministry, and your children's life. Because you know what? There is one important fact, about the children. Our time to invest in their life, it only happened 12 years. So the human brain, the human mindset, 85% of the human brain, it depends of what happened in his life from 0 up to 12 years. This is the foundation of the human being mindset. So we have very, very short time, only 12 hours, 12 years, in order to invest the proper mindset. We have only 12 years, who put a personal value, God value in their life. Only 12 years. So it's very important we allocate our time, our priority. Yeah. Okay. Hopefully, it answer your question, sir.
Pak
Balancing.
Freddy, just continuing that, when you say 12 years invest in our children mindset, is the beginning when they are how old?
0.
0.
When the child, in the wombs of mothers, 0. Yeah. There is one fact.
Blessing.
When the child, in the wombs of a mother, at the age of 4 months, the brain already can absorb the memory. So that's why, a lot of psychologists say, whenever you're pregnant, you have to behave nice to your wife. Yeah, make him joy, make him give him a pleasant heart, because it impacts the baby in the wombs. Jadi start from 0 actually, from the wombs of the mothers.
So just to follow up with that one, is because some of us has already got the children, and even I got 13 years old now. So
Okay.
is that mean too late?
Okay. Before the God, there is nothing late. Better late than never. So we have to hurry up. We have to hurry up, to chase something we haven't done it, when the children below 12 years old. Yeah. Just chasing it. Just start it.
Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome.
So,
Jason.
Dr. Leong,
Yeah.
sorry.
So
My name
basically,
is,
okay, Jules,
Yes.
go ahead, Jules.
oh, sorry, my name is Julie. Got 2 kids as well. First one's 14 years, the second one 11. We've done as much as we can as like what you shared as, because we did all those parenting class. But even though we've done almost everything that we can, I think when they started to become teenagers, for example, the first girl, they behave differently, right? So how do you manage, those teenage periods, because they starting to maybe listen to their friends, have, more into, they have their opinions, not just listening. And how do we try to, as Indonesian parents, we usually try to just say and for them to do, but in here it's different. They have their own opinion. It's like, it's difficult we try to guide it, but I'm just trying to figure out, how do you usually manage those periods of, teenage periods, I guess.
Wow. Your question is very interesting, very important. you deliver the question just 1 minute, but I have to explain it 1 hour about this question.
Next session then.
So I think we will discuss it in next program, I think, Anna and Yuda, yeah?
Yep.
Yeah,
Good.
because at 6 o'clock, yeah, the Jakarta time, I have to stop. Yeah, this is a very important question. Yeah, this is just for preview. Yeah, this is for preview first. Actually, we have 5 seasons of our life: season 1, season 2, season 3, 4, and 5. Season 1 is from 0 up to 6 years old. It's a season 1. Season 2 is 7 years old up to 12 years old. Season 3, this is a very, very brutal phase of life. This is a teenage, very hard time, season 3 from 12 up to 18 years old. Season 4 from 18 years old up to 22 years old. And season 5 from 22 up to we check out from this earth. So there are 5 stages, 5 seasons of our life. Our teenager life, whether we can survive easily or not, whether we can parenting our teenage in proper way or not, it's very, very depend on season 1 and season 2. Season 1 and season 2. If you may ask another further question, which season is most important, most significant between season 1 and season 2? The answer is season 2. That is the father's period. Season 1 is mother's period. The second season, that is a father's season. And unluckily, a lot of fathers, they do not know about this. They are busy with their career. They just start up, their business. They forget to invest his life to the children in the second season. Yeah. Okay. This is very interesting. 5 seasons in the human life. We will discuss it next time, of course. Yeah, this is just a preview. So make you curious.
Thank you.
All right. Okay. Thank you, Pak. So, Pak Freddy, you need to stop by now, isn't it? And
Yes.
you have another
I'm sorry.
session. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you very much, Pak Freddy, for this
Thank you,
very
Pak Freddy.
very
Thank you.
insightful sessions, and we will continue maybe next time, and then just organize another thing like this. Thank you, Pak. I
Okay.
think that's good for talking about the sessions in the stages of life. Yep. Thank you, Pak.
Okay. Yeah, thank you all. See you
Thank you,
again
Pak
in next
Freddy.
time.
Thank you,
Thank
Pak
Thank
you.
you.
Thank
Freddy.
you, Pak
Bye.
Freddy. See you next
Bye.
time.